It's going to be a bumper summer of sport, with the World Cup, Wimbledon, the Tour de France and the Commonwealth Games all taking place over the next couple of months. While many of us will be happy to sit on the sofa and watch these events, many more of us will be inspired to take up some of them as a new sport. But while there is a host of information available advising us on what to eat when we exercise, information about what we need to drink becomes hazy.
Well, as soon as you start to do some exercise, you're likely to begin to sweat. Even if you're not sweating noticeably, you're beginning to increase the amount of heat you need to lose. That'll cause some sweating, you'll increase the water loss, and therefore you need to drink more than you would do if you weren't doing any exercise.
So the general rule of thumb tends to be the more prolonged the exercise, the more liquid needs to be replaced.
The rowers in a boat race, for example, the whole thing's over in 20 minutes, so you clearly don't need to drink anything during the race. But in longer duration events, you'll be sweating a lot during the event and you'll need to replace that fluid. So if we take a football game, for example, there are extensive measurements from football players. You can lose 2 or even 3 litres of fluid in a game. That's a lot of sweat. If you don't replace any of that, your blood volume will go down, your ability to play will go down, you'll feel more fatigued, so you should drink enough during the game to maintain performance and make up the rest of the deficit after the game.
The clear message from the experts at the European Hydration Institute, which was set up to highlight the importance of hydration for health, wellness and performance, is that if you're active, particularly in warm weather, you need to be sure to drink enough.
The example I always give, if we take a Mo Farah who's running 140 miles a week, and I say to Mo, I want you to run 150 miles next week, but I also want you to cut back on your food intake and your liquid intake. It's only an extra 10 miles over the week. It's 3 20-minute sessions. But he won't last a week, because he's cut back at the same time he's increased.
And obviously in sport, with top athletes, you're looking at sort of split seconds between coming first and coming second. In that area, hydration has been studied to quite an extent, because obviously people are looking for those things that make that small amount of difference that get them over the line faster.
The EHI advice comes as it tries to highlight the importance of drinking the right amount of fluids. It says that a common misconception is that we should be drinking 8 glasses of plain water each day.
8 glasses of water is an easy message, but it's also a communication failure. It assumes that people understand it doesn't have to be water. Typically about 20 to 30% of our water intake comes from food. So depending on the foods we choose, we can either get a lot of water from those foods or a little bit of water. On the liquids, it's going to be the majority of our intake, but how much we need to drink depends on how much we're losing.
And proper hydration is even more important when we're exercising.
If you want to lose weight, if you want to get the health benefits, then you want to maximize the return on the effort you put into it.
If you're somebody who maybe have to go to the gym after work to keep yourself fit, or perhaps go for a little run or whatever at lunchtime, if you're slightly dehydrated and you do that, you might find it harder than if you've been hydrated when you went. Anything that we can do to encourage people to be more active has got to be a positive thing.